our way from Oklahoma to Texas right now. This is it. We are leaving the country finally. We're so excited, and we're going to try to document as much as we can because it's weird traveling during a pandemic. And the kids are excited. They're entertained. We're making our first stop in Dallas. Then we're stopping in Houston, and then it will be on to Belgium. So here we go. We've set our goodbyes to our friends, as many as we could. Unfortunately, there just was not time to say goodbye to everyone, and that's just the nature of a pandemic. It is what it is, and it's a disappointment, but we're moving on. We're going. So we will be at our first stop in about 3 hours, and we're off. All right, so day one was great. We saw all of our friends. We got to say goodbye to everyone. We had a great night. Got an awesome hotel downtown Fort Worth. Then we woke up to Belgium calling us, telling us that customs is turning people away at the gate. So if we were to get to, say, whatever airport, we could go through all security, get to the gate, and then be denied. Or get on the plane, get all the way to Belgium, get off the plane, get to customs, and be denied and turn back around and flown back to the States. So my amazing husband, he troubleshot. He spent the morning taking care of it. It was one of these really weird things where, like, he was calling Belgium, he was calling Belgium Customs, he was talking to his command, which he's already checked out of, and they were then saying what's going to happen is that he will go to Belgium without us. So, really long story short, after a couple of hours, they were able to fix everything, get everyone added onto the right documentation, and that was just the issue, that, like, the documentation is what would have been a problem, and no one even knew because all of this was mentioned yesterday by the U.S. Embassy. It wasn't like this has been something that anyone had even been aware of. So it is finally all taken care of. It was so amazing. They were able to fix it all and quickly, like amazing fast, to get new paperwork drawn up and then submitted to customs. So we will not be turned away at the gate, which is such a blessing. Like, we're so excited. We are now on our next leg of the trip, getting some Chick-fil-A, and we are headed to Houston. We will we had our tickets booked for us by the military, and they we now need to make the change and pay the fees to change it to flights out of Houston. So we're hoping that our car will get shipped on Monday, or dropped off on Monday at the docks, and then we should be able to fly out on Tuesday. Phone call in this fancy car. So here we are in Houston. We've been here for a couple of days. We should be here for a couple more days, and we are just waiting because we keep hitting weekends, and that just slows everything down.
What's up, viewers?
We're
heading to Belgium.
Anyway, so we have made it this far. We've got a couple more days left. We anticipate having a couple more days we're hoping end of the week we're out of here. Ideally and optimistically, it could be as early as Tuesday morning that we fly out. It could be as late as just the end of the week because they need a couple of days notice. We're waiting for approvals, and it is a whole thing that my husband can explain better than me because he's a service member and this is his jam. He is all about the admin stuff. So we are here in this little pit stop again on our way to Belgium. Our hotel room is a disaster. We're trying to put everything essential and organized into our backpacks or our carry-ons so that we have them with us. We got in the car for our road trip and I had no cords for any of the phones, including mine. They were in my backpack in the other car. So we were stopping, we were buying more cords, which is just ridiculous. And like, don't do that. And I don't know, just like, it's those tiny little things that you don't think about, but it ends up costing you a lot of money to like be replacing things because it's in the wrong bag or it gets lost at the airport. So we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to make the flight smooth. Our kids are going to have food. We don't know about food service on the plane, even the 8-hour flight. We don't know about that. So they'll have food. They will have their entertainment, so tablets, cords. They're going to have non-internet games and they will have things downloaded. They have their headphones and they're going to have some toys. So like things that like, oh, and a blanket. So like things that they want and need to stay comfortable are going to be on them and not mishmashed amongst everyone. So that's that. We're excited and hopefully this next little part will get us to Belgium. Bye, car.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
We'll see you in 2 months. Alright, well you saw correctly. We were back in Oklahoma. There was a bit of a snafu with the tickets. So we had to drive to Houston anyway. It's no sweat off our backs. We had just planned on flying out of Houston. And that was not a possibility for what they wanted to charge. So we're back for 2 nights. Basically a day and a half. And because we leave first thing in the morning. And now we're off to dinner. We're staying in Bricktown because that's where everything's happening. And here we are. We're off to go walk to dinner. Get some walking in after that 6-hour drive. Daddy, what time is it? 6 something. It's 6:15. Let's go. It is, oh, you're okay.
Oh, I am a bit.
It is 7:50. And what time is our flight take off?
10:40.
So we're here way too early. Way too tired.
I've been up since 3 for no reason.
So, security went really quick. Checking all 10 bags went really quick. Returning the rental car went really quick. We thought it was going to take a while for everything. There's so many of us. Definitely went really fast.
Maybe an hour.
Yeah, so we got to the airport at like 6:45. And our flight's at 10:40.
For international flights.
Yeah, and we thought too that getting ready in the morning was going to take longer. So
That took 30 minutes.
we were just like painfully early.
So you should probably show what our children are doing now.
We ended up having a 4-hour layover in Chicago. The hardest part was actually finding restaurants that were open, because by the time we got there, we were starving. There was literally 3 restaurants open in all of Chicago O'Hare. The flight out of Chicago was about 95% full, and they did not require us to wear masks. They were 100% optional. In addition to dinner, they did offer a light breakfast as we were getting closer to landing. So here in a minute, when it starts to lighten up, they brought us some fruit and a water. Had a little over an hour to go through customs, make it through all of the gates, find food, and get ready for our next flight to Belgium, which was our final flight. You guys excited?
Yeah.
At the time this was recorded, Belgium had the strictest of all of the mask regulations, and so we had to wear our masks the entire time in the airport, all the way to baggage check. And once we went from baggage check to our shuttle, we had to keep them on per military regulation. We were escorted by the military in their own vehicle, which, as you can see, was tarped off between us and them, all the way to the hotel that we're staying at.
You guys, we made it. We're so in love. It is so beautiful here. I don't know if you can see behind me. There's a playground, which no one can go to. Whatever, it's fine. But we're in quarantine, where it's actually like our 3rd day. We've been so jet lagged, and the last 2 times that I've flown internationally, I didn't really get super bad jet lag, but this time is kind of a doozy. Something about kids. But it's gorgeous out here, and it's sunny, and it's warm. Best way to spend Memorial Day. For us, at least in our circumstances, it's just beautiful. We're so happy to finally be here. Oh my goodness. So thank you so much for watching our whole trip. Getting from the States to here while everyone's still kind of, you know, in quarantine or sheltering in place, and with all the weird just restrictions and differences, and honestly, I was just surprised that flights in the States were so full. And I mean, one flight required a mask and the other two didn't. So it was just an interesting experience because they've definitely loosened restrictions. And I get it, like, we're more on like the middle end of this than the beginning. So anyway, thanks for watching and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more of our travel adventures as a family here in Belgium. Have a good one. Bye.